Hello people, I hope you're well. I've got a video today for anybody who is an agency owner, a coach, a consultant who is wanting to learn a bit more about how to set up their YouTube for optimal conversion to their offer. I'm going to be speaking about Matthew Larsen. He's a guy who's made a ton of money through his agency. He came from an ads background, but he's really mastered organic content and he's got a great YouTube funnel, which in this video I want to break down, take all the lessons from. I'm applying it to my own YouTube channel, but I also think that there's a lot that you can learn from Matthew Larsen to apply to your own YouTube channel in order to make more money with your agency or product, course, whatever it is that you're selling. Let's go. He's exited 3 agencies in the last 12 years. The last one he owned 100% of, and he sold it for over 10 million. He makes videos on agency growth, marketing, and lead gen. So he's very much in the client acquisition space. He's grown to 18K subs since starting posting last year, and he posts long-form, value-dense videos. He's very systematic and deliberate about what he posts, and that's what I'm deep diving into in this video. And before I go to the contents, why am I making this video? 1, to reveal the strategy behind a successful content funnel. 2, to prove that analytical thinking and breaking things down can improve your content strategy. And then third of all, this gave me a personal excuse to just spend time absorbing Matthew's knowledge, which for my own agency is extremely useful. So I thought, why not make a video out of it whilst I break down Matthew's channel? So there's a lot to cover, but the main areas are the overview, and then Matthew's YouTube funnel, and then his content, specifically the content themes and structure. It's not necessarily about what he's teaching, but I'm more going to be breaking down how he's teaching it and why he's teaching it. And then we'll do some key analytics and a conclusion to everything that Matthew can teach agency owners and SaaS founders and coaches, consultants about setting up a YouTube channel. Quickly before we start, about me, I co-founded a operations agency called Systemiz. I think that operations are the difference between scaling and chaos. That's why I want to make these videos. And my business partner is Chris Punt. You may know him as Chris's Notion, and he's one of the biggest Notion YouTubers and really well respected in the systems space. But now let's dive into Matt and the rest of the video. So Matt's primary social media is YouTube, but he's set up across different social medias. He's got a ton of offers. He's got, his mastermind, his podcast, his less than 10K per month community on School. He's got his over 10K per month Scale Your Agency program. And that's really what his main focus is and what the main purpose of the YouTube channel is. It's to get people to buy his Scale Your Agency program. He makes 2 to 3 videos per week. He has over 170 videos, and a third of his views all come from one video called How I Grew My Marketing Agency from 0 to 900K. And it's not an accident that a third of his entire channel views are all in one video. It's actually extremely deliberate, and it's to do with his funnel and how he sets up his descriptions, his pinned comments, all of that. So this one video is actually his most important video. You could describe it as a flywheel VSL. What a VSL is a video sales letter where you're trying to convert viewers into customers. And a flywheel is a marketing model where you want to generate momentum through satisfied customers who then come back and attract more customers. So a flywheel VSL is those two things together. It's a self-perpetuating content that drives consistent conversions and builds advocates. So when people come back to this flagship video, customers buy from it, they come back to it, they share it with other people. It's kind of that one killer piece of content in the ecosystem. It's not a hard sell though, so you could say it's not really a VSL. It's more of a flagship video or a North Star video. But the point is that all of his other content is trying to point you towards this. It's the one where you want people to watch. It's the one which establishes you as an authority, drives consistent traffic, and it's a central resource. So now let's go into his YouTube funnel and I'll explain exactly how that flagship video fits into it. So The starting point is anybody clicks on any video on his entire channel. Next up, the first goal is to send them to the flagship video. So, and these are all of the CTA locations, so the calls to action to that flagship video. You can see in every single YouTube description box on his entire channel, he has these 3 links. The first 3 are to his offers, but then at the bottom, you can see the link to Watch Next, How I Grew My Agency, the flagship video. In his pinned comment, he has his offers, but also the Watch Next, which is pointing people towards the flagship video. And then on his homepage, of course, his most popular video, the one which comes up first, is again that flagship video. So goal 2, middle of funnel. So after they've watched that key video, he's trying to point them to 2 different places. One of them, if they're making less than 10K, is his school community. The one, if they're making more than 10K, is his Scale Your Agency program. So either they can go to the website and look at the VSL page, or they can book a call directly with Matthew's setters, so his appointment setters and his sales team in Calendly. Or the other route to it is lead magnet. So you're trying to pull people towards that. So he has agency trainings, which are, that's his lead magnet for his funnel. You can see in his YouTube description as well, there's no fucking social media links. It's extremely focused. There's no random video links. It doesn't send them to the 5 podcast or all of these other things that he has. It's just got 2 links. It's got his lead magnets and it's got his Scale Your Agency website. I think there's something that we can all learn from that, which is, don't send people to medium priority links. Like right now, I don't have many important links to send people to. I don't really need to send people to my Instagram. It's not well set up. Just keep it fucking simple. Like as soon as our website launches this week, that's where systemized.com will be. But you can see, it's very focused. It doesn't send people to his other social medias. It doesn't send them to his podcast. It doesn't send them to medium priority links or previous agencies. It's trying to get them into his lead magnets, which then have, email flows, community, and website. So again, if you look at his funnel diagram, they're going from the YouTube, they're downloading the lead magnets, they're in the email flows, and then they're joining the school community, or they're going to the website and booking calls and entering the sales system. So at this stage, he has his audience in his sales flow, and they'll be on calls with his team, or you're going to be returned to the ecosystem, and you're going to be nurtured by his email sequences, watching his other YouTube videos, or downloading his other lead magnets. I know that when I downloaded his lead magnets, this was the email sequence that I received. So within the first 4 days, there were 8 emails, and he's got that on his back end here, but he has various different email campaigns which can help him convert. So this is what we've learned in terms of his funnel: is keep it simple, don't include useless links, don't include your social media, and just have one clear path for your audience to follow. Now here you ask, like, I thought you needed to be omnipresent across different social media, and that you should try to maximize the touch points. You should be sending people to your different social medias. That's sort of what Matt Gray would say. However, even Matt, who is kind of an advocate for the omnipresent multi-channel approach, would say, do it with intent. Like, only cross-promote when the content is better suited for that medium, or when the platform has additional value. So YouTube is a great platform for long form, high trust content, but IG could be good for like more personal things, like the stories, updates in your life. It's also good for appointment setting if you're running a B2C offer. And let's see, what does Matt Gray actually do? So somebody who does talk a lot about getting people on all your social medias as a goal. Well, you can actually see that there's only one link that would be visible at the top of his description before it's expanded, and that is to apply to his high ticket offer. If you scroll down in his subscription, in his description, you have his social medias there, but you can see the stuff which is at the top is his lead magnet, and at the very top it's to apply to his high ticket program. Likewise, in his pinned comment, he's not mentioning his social medias. He's got his paid high ticket program. And his flagship video, again, that's very much about his Founder OS high ticket program and his newsletter. But he's not got his social links there. And finally, in the links on his channel, it's to apply to Founder OS, his high ticket program. So even Matt Gray, somebody who talks about being omnipresent across social media, he's not sending his YouTube subscribers to his social media through his YouTube comment, his description, his flagship video, his YouTube channel about. He's trying to push them further down the funnel. And there's something that we can all learn from that. Note that this does depend a bit about your setup and funnel. So if you've got a really good Instagram or a really good LinkedIn, but you're just starting off on YouTube, maybe you'd send them to those areas. If your sales system for your business was appointment setting, so maybe it's a B2C offer and you have setters in your Instagram DMs, then yeah, maybe you want to get people from your YouTube into your Instagram, and calling that out as often as possible is important for you. Yeah, it depends on your offer. If you do want to do social media CTAs, it makes way more sense for them to be warped inside the video. So if you're mentioning something relevant, such as you were discussing your content repurposing system and you're showing Instagram posts, then ask them to follow you on Instagram. Or you're saying, if you want to learn a bit about me behind the scenes, then go and check out my Instagram. But get it to flow within the video content. Don't do it in your description boxes or your pinned comment, and don't do it at the end of the video, because there are more valuable CTAs that you can say than trying to send them to your social media. Part 3 of this video, content. So I scraped all of Matthew's videos and put them into a Google Sheet to understand his content. Content themes. So all of his content is about agency growth. Even his productivity videos are framed through that lens. The only framework that you have to understand is this. This is his funnel diagram, and this is what all of his content revolves around. But specifically, the types of videos which he's made is, number one, that flagship video, which I mentioned, 210,000 views, super high engagement. He also makes case study videos, so where he has clients on and he talks about what he did with them to help them scale their business. You can see around an hour, okay engagement. Then you have the agency business model breakdowns, which have high engagement. You have comprehensive training courses. So these next 3, the tactical how-tos, the quick tips, the comprehensive training, these are a bit subjective, like which is which, but this is how I categorize them. And the comprehensive ones are the around an hour, whereas these tactical ones are shorter, and the quick tips / hacks are more like 5 things to do to grow your agency, 5 client acquisition methods to focus on. It's a bit more clickbaity and shorter videos, more hacky videos rather than presented end-to-end tutorials. But yeah, these are basically his content types. And for the training / tips tutorials, so these ones, he basically goes through how to do X, or what I should do for X sales team, or top X things to improve sales. So these are some of the content formats that he's saying is like tutorials, examples, and quick wins or mistakes. And to really drill that point again, everything he discusses in these 3 videos, which you can further classify into these themes, is to do with his funnel. It's all, lead gen, which is, you can see paid ads, partnerships, outreach, client acquisition as a whole, lead magnets, sales relates to this, or even the ops and hiring and training is, ops supports marketing. So it sits behind this funnel. Like obviously the hiring is related to your appointment setters and the team which you have, but he hits this same diagram from multiple angles. Sometimes he combines key lessons from different parts of the funnel to make like 5 things videos or 5 tips, 5 mistakes. Other times he focuses on a specific layer, like talking about all of the acquisition channels and comparing them. And then other times he may deep dive into a single box. So maybe he'll talk specifically about programs or digital products. But no matter the format, he can just return to this funnel diagram for unlimited ideas, and he can just drill into specific topics which relate to the funnel, which his entire channel, the identity of the channel is based on this diagram. Okay, and now for content structure. So transcription system, So as I said, I got all of these videos, but then I got some code to get all of the transcripts, and I've summarized them into a particular structure. So we got the title, core summary, key insights, frameworks, common mistakes, actionable strategies, which is the what he teaches. But then what I really care about is how he teaches it. That's what I'm analyzing in this video, is how is he setting up his YouTube videos and why. And we're going to talk about, the format, the hook, the pacing, the narrative, the emotional appeal, all of that stuff I'm going to focus on in the rest of the video. So visual analysis, he makes 4 different types of videos. He has talking heads like me in this corner right now. He has screen share tutorials where he's, casting a screen. This is more for the technical stuff, like if he's showing you how to set up ads or things like that. He has the interview Zoom style clips, which are usually how he does his case studies with his clients. And then diagram walkthroughs. This is the main type of content in his channel, which is, Figma slides, like Miro boards, Gamma app slides, like what I'm presenting this on. His content is becoming increasingly visual because people like that on YouTube. And I'll just quickly show you like what this transcript system looks like. So you can see, I have topics, insights, names and descriptions of different strategies in each of the videos. And then at the bottom, it's this stuff like audience targeting, emotional appeal, format structure. And I have this for more or less every video on his channel. So this is how I created this presentation. But his positioning, he's positioning himself as an expert, somebody who has done it multiple times, an expert with results. He's sold 3 agencies before. He is transparent. He loads a bunch of proof into his videos and case studies. He's trying to do long form educational content, and he has a no fluff approach. So direct, actionable content, unscripted, valuable, methodical. He's just speaking to the camera and trying to provide as much value upfront as possible. As for hooks, he always opens up with specific revenue or sales numbers or results to establish credibility. So he will usually introduce himself. Hi, I'm Matthew Larsen. I've exited 3 agencies in the last 3 years, the last one being for over 10 million, etc., etc. He's calling to authority, real numbers straight away. He has a system promise. So what is going to be delivered in this video is like a complete framework, a complete system and guide, which hooks people in. He articulates a problem, so a pain point, and he's positioning his content as the solution. And then he is also setting high expectations for the video, that this is going to be a video from an expert who knows what they're talking about, and direct and specific. So these are kind of like the patterns that were observed in his hooks, especially this first one of opening up with authority and then going straight into the problem and solution. The narrative, so I made this nice little visual to explain the narrative which he has, but he goes through problem identification. So he introduces a problem of the audience. Then he builds his authority and credibility by showing his experience and how he relates to the problem, or when he overcame the problem and where he's at now. Then he'll do a systematic breakdown in the middle, and this is the largest section of the video about exactly how to solve the problem. Next up, lesson learned. So interweaving personal stories about how he overcome the problem, what didn't work, keeping it transparent. And then the final section of his videos is usually a clear next step. So concluding with advice or a soft CTA. Okay, so next up, funnel stage and buyer persona. So he is targeting different personas in his videos, but the main one is problem to solution aware. So people who are already problem aware, so they know they need better systems, but they haven't found the right solutions, i.e. his videos, his content, his client acquisition methods. So that's the funnel stage where they're trying to bring them from problem aware to solution aware. Matthew's here, he can help you out. And the buyer persona, B2B agency owners, you can also say consultants, founders, coaches who are already running their agencies. He's ideally looking for people who are already making a good amount of money, but want to scale and systemize further or even exit their businesses. People who are frustrated with acquisition, and people who are outcome driven and not vanity driven. It's not about the subscribers or likes, it's about the money. So Yeah, and tiered by revenue. So he does also segment his personas based on where they're currently at. Like you have the less than 10K guys who he's trying to send to his school community, and the above 10K guys who he wants in his Scale Your Agency program. Okay, and then the emotional appeal of Matthew is that he comes across as somebody who you can trust. He shows his results, has a good level of integrity. He comes across as an authority because of the level of his results and experience. It's aspirational content because he's showing high numbers. You know, he's got good results, 900K a month. Revenue, urgency. So he does try to invoke an emotional feeling of urgency, or that these methods can work in 2025. You want to get them implemented, go, go, go. And then empowerment, because the emotional appeal of empowerment is that he is actually empowering the audience with good systems knowledge and framework. Finally, so video CTAs. He very rarely hard sells at the end of his videos. In all of the videos, more or less, he ends them with, I hope this was helpful and I'll see you in the next video. So he's going for more of a friendly conversational closing. And the reason for this is that he's focused more on them consuming additional content than making a direct sale straight away. And his strategy is to be providing upfront value and building authority. And then the conversion mechanisms are in the content itself. So it's the email flows that people end up in when they're downloading the lead magnets, or it's whilst they're watching the video, they think, I want to buy from this guy, or I want to see what this guy has to offer. He doesn't really peddle it at the end of his videos. He just wants them to watch the next video. He keeps it casual. So that's something that you can take away as well in your YouTube channel, is you don't have to end every video with a sales pitch. You know, the sales pitch should be the video itself and more natural points in the video to make the call out for your programs or your offer. But at the end of the video, you can just say thank you. I hope you found this helpful. Matthew's also mentioned about the key analytics which he looks for, one of them being the 30-second retention rate. So he says that he's glued on this. He's aiming for 60%. And this is just how many people watched 30 seconds in your video. So basically, you do need good hooks. You need good trailers. You need a good title. The packaging of the video has to be good for you to maximize this 30-second retention rate. And then the next things which he cares about are view duration and watch time. So he doesn't care about vanity metrics. It's not about the ad revenue of the channel. It's about how much time are your audience spending with you and how much trust are you building. And that trust and credibility is what is converting people into leads, buying digital products, buying programs. So for an agency owner, you know, these are the metrics which you should also care about. Your retention rate. So is the packaging and hook of your video good? And then also, is the duration good? Are people sticking with you? Conclusion. So the things which I learned from studying Matthew Larsen's channel is that he is laser focused on his funnel. He keeps it simple. He drives traffic to specific links. His entire channel follows the single funnel diagram, which wouldn't take long for me to find. His whole channel follows this one diagram. And I think that that's great. And it's also the diagram which he explains in his flagship video as well. But yeah, his entire channel follows a single funnel diagram, nothing outside of it. He doesn't complicate his channel themes. The funnel gives him endless content ideas, which he can repackage systematically, and he tracks the right analytics like watch time and retention, but he doesn't really care about vanity metrics. He's doing his organic YouTube content to grow his agency. And then just a note about Matthew is an extremely systems-based thinker, but I just really like these quotes about why do you need systems? So you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. James Clear, Atomic Habits author. And then also from the E-Myth, if your business depends on you, you don't own a business, you have a job, and it's the worst job in the world because you're a lunatic. So you need systems to remove yourself from your own business and to set a good standard. I'll probably be making more videos like this soon on other people who inspire me or people whose content I just want to deep dive into. Got a few up on screen. Hope you enjoyed the video.